This weekend, Pastor Jim talked about the most popular children's story in the world, Cinderella. The origin of the story is debated, but people generally agree that the earliest written version of the classic fairy tale, with all the elements you would recognize today, was recorded in 1697. From there, we've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of variations, but there's something about the basic plot of that story that really connects to people. As I was pondering why Cinderella has lasted through the ages, I read a few articles about the history and interpretations of the story. One article in the Smithsonian Magazine really summed up the foundational idea that seems to draw us back to this tale time and time again. They wrote, "The story of Cinderella tells us that virtue is rewarded and evil is punished. Not only is virtue rewarded, so too is action." Cinderella was not a passive wimp who simply wishes upon a star. She makes things happen through her fortitude, perseverance, and wise decisions, albeit with some help from a magical fairy godmother. In short, good always wins when you have the strength to push through hardship. So ask yourself, if virtue is rewarded and good choices triumph, how do we decide what's truly good? How do we know the decisions we're making are heroic and brave? Without a moral compass, we don't. And God is that moral compass. When we look to God to help guide us through life, we find our values and our next steps. With God, we can find the good. Our personal stories may not have a fairy godmother granting our wishes or mice that turn into horses, but we do have a story with good and evil. And despite all of the evil we may see and experience, we have a loving God who is beyond good. He has modeled to us how to be wise, loving, and kind. With God, we can find the good in our story and the strength to overcome the evil trying to be part of them.